Hey everyone, it's Rob Stanley with the EcomWhiz podcast, and today my guest is Ryan Rigney. He's co-founder of Boost Rooster, and today we're going to be talking about. Hey, welcome to the show. First of all, thanks, Ryan.
Yeah, I got two guests here. It's me and the rooster. So
yeah, he's got a rooster
thanks.
behind him, so that's pretty cool. Those that are listening to us. So today's topic, we're going to actually be covering over product launch, but also chatbot strategies. And Ryan pointed out, and I've been kind of keeping up on that coming up here pretty quickly, Facebook Messenger is going to be changing their terms of service March 4th, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right.
And so kind of a lot of the strategies with chatbots are kind of thrown out a little bit. So Ryan, what's going to be kind of your new strategy going forward from March 4th when it comes to chatbots?
Yeah, so the change, I mean, just a little background on the change. Facebook is trying to, preserve the integrity of their messenger platform. They don't want constant promotion after promotion after promotion. So they're okay with you still doing promotions within a certain time window. So when somebody sees like an ad on Facebook, they click a button to engage with the brand on Messenger. You can pretty much do whatever you want within a 24-hour window. Now, and March 4th, you can still do that. But the difference March 4th is Facebook is adding these new tags that are required. So if you want to follow up with customers after the 24-hour window, it has to fit into one of these like very specific tags that are, sanctioned by Facebook. So the way that it doesn't really make a huge impact on what we do as Amazon sellers launching products. I mean, when we launch products using Facebook, we want to make sure that they're buying the products. We want to follow up with them. We want to make sure that they are, we want to give them updates on their order. We want to follow up and ask them for reviews, because reviews is a very valuable aspect of ManyChat, especially since we can use ManyChat to get like 10% of our orders to convert into reviews, really, if we use it effectively. And the way that we can change this is all we have to do, instead of just following up and asking for reviews, sending them promotions, like et cetera, like that. What we do is we just structure it differently. We structure it as what's called like a post-purchase update. So we tag a message as a post-purchase update. We just say, wanted to confirm that you got your order. It shows on our end that it's been delivered. Can you just let us know? They click this message. That's them re-engaging with the bot. When they re-engage with the bot, we can start sending them whatever messages we want within 24 hours of that action. So instead of just following up and saying, can you leave a review? We say, just want to make sure you got the product. Can you let us know? They engage, then we can ask for reviews. So it's kind of like another additional step. We don't position it as a promotion. We just try to get them to re-engage with the bot. So that's one thing that we can do to kind of get around this. Second thing we can do, or third thing, is we use email and SMS integrations throughout the entire process to get them to come back, engage with the bot. So ManyChat is really cool. The reason I really like ManyChat is they've got all these integrations. They're really the market leader in chatbots. They've got a really great dev team, tons of users. They're supported by really the top marketers in the industry. So it's not like an Amazon-specific chatbot. I don't use those. I like these ones that have all these other integrations because it's something you can use over the long term, right? So email, SMS, you can get your customers to provide you their email, provide you their phone number to get like order related updates, and customers are fine doing that. We don't position it in a way that's spammy, and that it works well. You can obviously abuse this, and they're not going to want to provide their phone number for no reason. It has to provide value. But if you do this, what you can do is in ManyChat, you can actually set triggers. So after a certain number of days, it will automatically send them a text, automatically send them an email, and say, we've got an update on your order. You want to click this and go check it out on Messenger. They come back, re-engage, and then you can start promoting to them again on Messenger. And not only that, you get their phone number, which is like an asset for your brand. You can contact them whenever you want on that. There's no Facebook TOS for phone numbers, text messages, email as well. So these email and SMS, you have more control over these. These aren't controlled by a company, whereas Facebook Messenger is controlled by Facebook. They can take away your permissions whenever they want. So we're building three assets at the same time now, and I think this is the way things are going. So building across several platforms, and then just kind of getting Facebook to be more effective. Our campaigns on Messenger can be more effective, actually, if we do it properly.
Yeah.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah, that's perfect. And I mean, not that I'm expecting you to be necessarily a Facebook advocate, but what it sounds like to me from what you're describing is that once they interact with you on Chatbot or with the Chatbot, you have 24 hours basically kind of respond. So the
Yep.
key is to kind of get them to come back and interact first, and that opens that 24-hour window back up again, right? Does that sound about right?
And you could send them whatever promotion you want within that 24-hour window. The problem is, like if you want to follow up 6 days later and say, we have another product, do you want to buy this? You can't just do that automatically anymore through the API, because Facebook will restrict that. That doesn't fit into one of their 3 categories. And the category that we can really use as e-commerce sellers is like the post-purchase update. With that said, there are other ways to still promote to your list. There's a feature called a paid broadcast. So we can use paid broadcasts to do sponsored messages. We can promote our products. We can say like, there's a discount on our website. There's a discount on Amazon. We've got a new rebate offer going. We're giving out 20 of these. So you can use this and send promos whenever you want. You just have to pay for it.
Yeah.
Facebook is restricting our ability to not pay for it and promote outside of that 24-hour window.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. And you did touch a little bit on, that you prefer ManyChat versus some of the other platforms out there. What other reasons would people go with ManyChat versus, I mean, I know it personally, but let people know, what separates ManyChat from some of these other platforms.
Right. So ManyChat gives you a lot of ability to customize what you're doing. Some of these platforms, they really lock you into what their platform can do. They don't have a full dev team that really makes it really intuitive, easy to use. So ManyChat has a really nice flow builder, for one. Pricing is good. That's another thing. Third, there's less chance that they're just going to go under and you're going to have to move your audience somewhere else. So it's more like, because like when you collect the audience, it's on ManyChat. You have a ManyChat audience. These other chatbot platforms, you don't want to build an audience on one of these that might not be around in 3 years. So I think it has more long-term staying potential. They have a lot of backers. Another thing is email, SMS integrations. Like they're working to kind of push the boundaries a little bit further on the marketing end. So they connect with a lot of these different CRMs. They connect with Google Sheets. They connect with email, SMS, and they're working out these deals for us. And I think a lot of these like Amazon specific platforms, they just don't have the resources to do that. So that's another reason.
Yeah, I mean, one of the benefits of what you were just describing, you're looking at a way to get a phone number that you could SMS to or message to. You're looking at getting an email, and besides getting a customer built in that you could possibly go back to and remarket to or try to sell another product to. Earlier, right before we started the show, you were talking a little bit about a new method to launch products. Why don't you dive into that a little bit and let everybody know what you were telling me earlier?
Right. So the method itself has been around for like a year. There's a lot of different ways to do it. It's like a rebate-based launch method. We get people to buy on Amazon through keywords that they search. They buy at full price. They get a rebate. There's a lot of different platforms out there doing that. There's websites that give rebates. There's various chatbot flows that give rebates. The difference is the way that we're doing it now is, instead of having to custom design an entire flow that could take you an hour on ManyChat. And really the benefit of building a ManyChat flow is you get to collect the audience. You can follow up with them later. The buyer quality is higher than if you're using like one of these websites that has, say they've got 1,000 people, they get rebates after rebate after rebate after rebate. For one, you can't get reviews from them. 2, you can't contact them again. And 3rd, they're just getting rebates nonstop. Their buyer profiles can look kind of weird after a while.
Yep.
So by using ManyChat, by driving from Facebook, we have basically an infinite buyer pool. And using, my software Boost Rooster, that's sort of the new way to launch, because it takes like 5 minutes to set up the entire ManyChat flow, which used to take me as well as people that I work with like an hour plus, even if you know what you're doing, just to upload so you have to say, I'm selling a lavender essential oil and it's 8 ounces. You have to type all these product details. You have to type what it does. You have to put it in the right spot. You have to set the delays up in the right way. You have to connect things so that the order's verified. It's just like it's a real hassle to get everything connected, right? So by using by using the software that we've developed, we've taken like an hour process down to a 5-minute process. And
Wow.
we can say like, you want to get 20 sales a day, you just put in our platform, I want 20 sales a day. I want to go through this keyword. And you just type the details of your campaign. Like you say, I sell lavender essential oil. This is what it does. This is what it's used for. And it inserts it in all the right spots that we've already, I spent 2 years building this flow out. So it's been refined a lot, especially with feedback from people that have used it. So we've had 20,000 rebates go through this flow. So It's been tested a lot.
Yeah, no, that's really good. Yeah, that is one of the struggles I hear quite a bit is when people are setting up like the flow for their chatbots is like, it takes them forever to basically get that flow right and design it. And then they're always tweaking it. It sounds like you cut a lot of that process out, being able to do it in 5 minutes, and you've already dealt with things that don't work versus what does work and kind of got it like in place that it pulls it together pretty quickly.
Yeah. I think the typical like workflow for somebody trying to figure this out, if they're new, they say, okay, I'll try the chatbot launch. And then they spend like 30 minutes trying to set it up. And then they say, okay, I quit. Let me go find somebody to install it for me. Yeah. And then they end up using one of these like done for you platforms, but they don't really know what they're doing. They have little control over what these service providers are doing. They have to overpay for it. So we've made it very affordable, easy on the tech side. And all the user really has to do is type a couple of details and hit start on a Facebook campaign, which is the Facebook side of things is the easy part. Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of Facebook, so we were talking a little bit about, we're talking about product launch also. If I have a product that has 0 reviews right now, do you usually run Facebook ads also, to kind of help boost that and get it promoted? What's kind of your thought process on that?
Right. So I don't officially launch a product until I have a couple reviews, just because the conversion rate is like dramatically impacted by the number of reviews you have. So I always tell people I work with, like, you should have at least 4 or 5-star reviews. You should have either a 4.5 or a 5-star visible on your product before you really start driving a lot of traffic to it.
Yeah.
Especially if you're doing like 80% off, 100% off, like discounts. You don't want to have a scenario where you've got a product with 1 5-star review and you're like, okay, I'm going to launch it. You spend $1,000 launching it, and then some customer leaves a 1-star review, and at the end of your launch, like, your conversion rate just tanks and you can't stick the rank. So you can use chatbots and Facebook to get those initial reviews to kind of kickstart the process, because it's very hard to get those initial reviews if you can't get sales on Amazon, right? So you have to kind of get them from somewhere else to get the wheels moving, unless you're using like the early reviewer program, which does work pretty well, but you have to wait a while. So I like to use every avenue I can to kind of get those initial reviews coming in as quickly as I possibly can. So you can use Facebook ads and a chatbot to just say, we launched a new product, just do like a 20 unit limited promo, like a rebate promo, just give out like 20 units, wait 2 weeks. And then about 10% of those will come back. And usually they leave you a good review because they're getting good deals. So we follow up, we say, how did you like the product? Could you click here to leave a review? And we do that automatically with like the chatbot. So this is another way to get those reviews coming in more quickly. And then when you get 4 or 5 reviews, then you can do a launch.
Yeah, that's perfect. That is a way. You're basically talking about the customer. You've built up this customer base. Now you're kind of going back to them and utilizing them to get the reviews. What about, I assume you're also using them when you launch another product, right? You got to be able to go back to them. You built up. What's some of the ways you do that? Like what, from these tools that we talked about, you now have this little, and and usually it works probably better when it's a similar item, right? Or a similar category item. So
right.
What have you seen with that?
I've got my dog barking in the background. Hopefully you can't hear that.
That's all good. So what have you seen with that
guy
process of trying to get people back to kind of jump back on that secondary sort of product?
Right. So we've built up a ManyChat audience after we do one launch. It's probably a couple hundred people at least. So you can actually do a paid broadcast in ManyChat to bring these people back to a new product. And yeah, like you said, it does help if it's a similar product. It does help if you're building a brand. So I always say, we should be building brands. Brands are longer term assets. We shouldn't just be picking random item after random item based on keyword data. We should be building products to build a portfolio so that the audience is kind of built around one central thing, because building one brand, that pretty much takes all my effort. I don't have the effort to build 10 brands at once. I don't know how anybody could possibly do that unless they have like a massive team. But I build around one brand. I build the audience for the one brand. I launch products to the customers that I've already accumulated for the most part. Sometimes I branch out a little bit, but it does help to already have that audience that knows you, likes you, and trusts you. You run a paid broadcast to a new product. You don't even have to give them as big of a discount if they already know you. So that does help. Paid broadcast, you can do that, kind of get the wheels moving on a new product. And another thing you can do that I'm really into lately is building Facebook communities. So I've got a bunch of Facebook groups, and what I do is I use these methods to get people to go into these Facebook groups. So example, I sell lavender essential oil. I run a launch for lavender essential oil. I've got all these chatbot people just sitting there. They probably want a community to talk about the products, how to use them, how others are using them. You might be surprised how much people want to talk about, and they're passionate about these products that you're selling. If you're selling a quality product, they really want to talk about it. So you put up a community like home natural essential oil remedies, like something like that. Make it a Facebook group. Send your customers there. Your customers will be there talking about your product, sharing pictures of your product. And not only that, like new people will be finding the group, seeing your customers talking, and then that's going to get you more customers. And it just kind of builds upon itself. And that's the power of having an audience. We're not dependent upon people searching Amazon for a keyword and finding us. We actually have people outside finding us. So even if Amazon decides they don't like you one day and they pull your listing, you could still get a sale somewhere else. Yeah,
no, that's perfect. That's a good tip. I mean, a lot of people, they get a brand going and they don't kind of build a community around it. And you got to think like in a bigger format or bigger scale, right? Like you get this product going, you get a few products going, you've built up this customer list that you were just talking about with, where you can go back to them and resell to them or launch a new product from them. But it also helps, like you said, to have that, a group or community, because I bet you what happens is you get in that community, you probably start finding things people are talking about that maybe you're not selling that you can add to your brand. So
I get lots of ideas from it. Like the next product I'm launching, actually, people were talking about it, and I'm like, this must be trending really hard right now. And it turns out it's on like Ellen DeGeneres and stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, I gotta get this to market fast. But my customers definitely informed me of that. So
yeah, I mean, and a lot of people I think miss out on that. I mean, with us, like here at FeedbackWhiz, I'm on like every Amazon group on Facebook, and we're always kind of keeping an eye on what's going on out there, making sure that people understand what's going on with terms of service with Amazon, try to take care of some of the myths out there about, sending out product reviews. I mean, we're always trying to kind of keep in the community and keep things going. So I completely understand where you're coming from on that.
Yeah, we were just talking about a lot of those myths too before we got on this call, like the number of emails you can send out, what can be in those. So I deal with that. A lot of my people I work with use FeedbackWhiz. Like that's what I recommend. And they're like, oh, FeedbackWhiz is getting restricted. It's like, it's not FeedbackWhiz. It's the content of your message, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, we were just talking about earlier. I mean, you can only send out one request for a product review. You can't send out two. And so basically for most people that equals one email, that you're sending out. And the other thing we were talking about earlier was, changing people that come in, they take our templates that are TOS compliant, they start modifying them, and now they're not, because they do things that they're not supposed to do to our templates. So yeah, not to get too much off the subject, but yeah. Well, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's some really good stuff. And so talk a little bit about Boost Rooster and kind of give us a little insight on, how did this company come about? How did the software come about? And kind of what got you into it? And maybe even back up a little and tell us what you did prior to that.
Yeah, so I can back up quite a bit, like my entire history. So I'm actually a lawyer. I went to law school. Yeah, nice. Lawyer. Worked as a lawyer for a bit. I was passionate about e-commerce, so I stopped doing that. I actually started my e-commerce company when I was in law school while I was taking the bar. That caused a lot of issues for sure. So you just don't have any time to run it. But somehow made it through that. I do e-commerce and coaching the software full time now, so which is great. I'm passionate about it. So basically, Boost Rooster, I was consulting. I was giving people advice on how to market their products on Amazon. I was helping people launch products with ManyChat, Facebook. Like that's kind of where I started in this whole thing back in 2017. I've been doing it since then. And the process was just so tedious, so hard that you had to be like moderately intelligent to figure it out without having like a huge issue. And I wanted to make it like so easy that it doesn't matter like who it is, like they can do it. Like even if they have no marketing experience, they don't have to be some tech genius or something. And like I was working with a bunch of students, like they're just, stay-at-home moms. They don't know about software. They don't know how to use Facebook. They don't know how to use ManyChat. They're intelligent. They just don't know how to do it, right? And it's going to take them a week to figure it out, and they just give up. So I made software that streamlines the entire process so that they can just, as long as they can use a word processor, they can type a couple words. It can populate the template for them. It's just trying to bring something that's extremely powerful for launching, getting reviews to the masses, if we can do that. So
yeah, no, that's awesome, and that's a great story. I mean, it seems like Boosterster it sounded like there was nothing really out there like what you're doing right now, or if there was, it wasn't as streamlined as the way you've made it, basically. Does that sound right?
Yeah. When we launched, there was nothing like it. There's a couple kind of like us that launched after us, but I think as far as the flow that we've built, I've tested it more than any that have been out there. If you go and check it out, like you can get a free trial. You can look at the entire flow. If you're running ManyChat launches and you haven't seen this, like this thing is really, really refined. It's not just by myself. I've had people that are, really proficient, like coders, look through it, make it as optimized as they possibly can. So it's had a lot of passes over it, and it works very well. It's been used by 20,000, plus. So
how long have you had this software out, or this service?
Software has been since November. That's when we went live. The flow itself, it's kind of based on one that I was using previously, like for the manual process. And so I got to kind of refine it before the software came out. The software came out, and we just took it to the next level, made it more, optimized in every way, step of the flow. So it follows up automatically, checks order verification. Everything's sort of timed in a specific way, because we've had customer conversations, where they get angry at a way that something's worded, or the follow-up doesn't make sense. So we get feedback from the customer, we go back, we change it, and it just gets a little bit better. That's kind of how software should work, right?
Yeah, so. Exactly. No, that's pretty awesome. And then what about, not necessarily for Boosterster, but I mean, we were talking a little bit about other platforms, social media platforms. Obviously, Facebook's one of the best out there. Have you used any other social media platforms to drive traffic for you or get conversions from? And how'd that work for you?
Yeah, so paid, and there's also like organic influencer stuff. I've used a bunch of things. Like I'm kind of like obsessed about testing the stuff. So Facebook groups, that's the one that I really like right now. For social networks, like driving traffic. The other thing that I really like are YouTube influencers, because I think there's a lot of them out there that they don't really know the value of their impact. They don't know the value of their audience, and they don't know how to monetize their audience. So what I've been teaching, I'm actually doing like a class right now, teaching them how to find these influencers, give them a product that really fits into what they're talking about, what their audience would be interested in. And then you don't really have to even pay them that much. Like I've had situations where, I reached out to somebody who had like 25,000 subscribers, pay her $400, send her a free product. I get rights to her video. I tell her what to put in the title. So I get like keyword rank in YouTube, and like some of these videos have like 500,000 views for $400. This is something that's out there. There's opportunity out there for a lot of people that are selling products, especially if you're selling like branded products and you have a brand that looks legit that somebody would want to stand behind. That these opportunities are out there, and they're not that expensive if you know how to find them.
Absolutely. I mean, I built my entire company around my YouTube channel.
That's right.
Yeah, I used it to drive traffic to our own website, which meant, I didn't have to pay fees to eBay, Amazon, any of them when I got the direct sales. I mean, I could go hours and hours on a YouTube channel and how much benefit you can get from it. And I've talked about it before. I mean, everybody out there, if you're building a brand, part of that brand is, you got to have a YouTube channel, have a Facebook group, have a Facebook page. I mean, Instagram, everything out there, you should have your name in every single location of every social area, Pinterest even, putting pictures out there, even though you may think that your product, you're like, oh, well, it wouldn't fit in there. Yeah, it will. You can make it fit. So
yeah. I like Instagram as well. I've I've kind of automated my Instagram process to some extent. Like I have a marketing manager that does that now. But
Yep.
the basic strategy is, she posts at least once per day.
Yep.
The posts get cross-posted on our Facebook page. They get posted on Pinterest as well. And I also have her second side of her job is, aside from the content promotion, is finding new micro influencers who want to try our product, who will actually take pictures using it, give different ideas on how to use it. We get rights to use those images, and then those images come back to our channel, and we can post them on our Instagram, on our Facebook, and I can also run ads using those images, put them on our Amazon listings. So just kind of constantly building more content for the Instagram as well as everything else, brand assets.
Yeah, there's several people I follow on YouTube that talk about just what you said. If you got a new product you're going to promote, if you've gone out there and found the right influencers, you can have them post a picture of the product, a description of them, how they used it, what they liked about it. Yeah. And it helps. You can see, especially when it's a paid promotion on Instagram, you can actually see a lot of that traffic. You'll be able to see, the results from it, how much sales it drove, and you're having them drive it. You can either have them drive it to your Amazon if you need help there in ranking, or have them drive it right to your web page. Let's say if you already have an existing product, but you're just trying to kick sales back up on it. So there's a couple different ways you can do that.
Yeah, right now I'm actually, because I've been doing this process for a couple of years, like the Instagram micro influencer outreach. I have my assistants populate a spreadsheet of every single influencer we've ever worked with. So the list gets pretty long after a while. So when I launch new products, I tell them, reach out to everyone we've ever worked with, tell them that this new product's coming out, ask them if they're interested, tell them what it does. So I'm actually in this process right now where you've got a list of 400 or 500 people that we've contacted. Say, this is a new product. Do you want to try it for free? Do you want to post? We see if they want to charge for it. A lot of people don't. Some people want a little bit, but that's the value of building a brand too. They build the relationship with you, with your marketing manager. They're more willing to kind of put themselves out there and speak for your brand because they know who you are. So really powerful.
That's absolutely true. Yeah, no, that's perfect. That's perfect. All right. Well, we kind of got a little off topic, but that's all right. So Boost Rooster, that's BOOST Rooster, ROOSTER, boostRooster.com. And Ryan Rigney's first time I had him on the show. We're going to definitely get you back on, Ryan, because you got a lot of good information. And anyways, go check out his website if you're interested in ManyChat or a chat flow process. Especially this podcast will be out just before the change coming up here on Facebook. Make sure to go check out his website. If you have any questions, jump on his Facebook group, post a question there, or get a hold of him. Ryan, I really appreciate you being on the EcomWhiz podcast.
Thank you for having me. It was great.
All right. Thanks. Have a good day.
Yeah.
Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, and for more information, please visit FeedbackWhiz.com.